Fine. Let's bring in New Jersey Republican Congressman Jeff Van Drew, member of the House Judiciary Committee. Congressman, welcome. What do you think they will uncover?
Oh, I think there's a lot to really uncover here. We don't have all the information yet. Let's be clear about this. This isn't Republican talking points or Jeff Van Drew talking points. This is about facts. What do we know? Well, we do know that Joe Biden was on the phone with Burisma, the Ukrainian company, corrupt company, 12 different times. And he said, first he denied that he was, then it was proven that he was. And now he says, well, he was just talking about the weather. Let me tell you, there's a lot that keeps the president busy. It shouldn't be giving weather reports over and over again to a corrupt company. And then we also know that Joe Biden, when he was vice president, went to Ukraine and said, if you don't get rid of the prosecutor who's investigating what's going on there, you're going to really be paying for that. So, which meant that they weren't going to get funding they were depending on. And again, that's a very, very questionable, using presidential public policy to influence somebody for the benefit of his son. I won't even talk about the bank accounts that were flagged by the IRS, that were flagged by the Department of Treasury, but that was repressed. I won't even talk about the conversations that Joe Biden had with the wealthiest oligarch in Russia, and the only one that he didn't publicly sanction. It's just issue after issue. The dummy corporations, the $12 million that was transferred into these corporations. We need all the facts. We're doing this the right way. This is not an impeachment.
Let me just pick apart a couple of things. The prosecutor, the defense, they say no, that the international community wanted that prosecutor out because he was corrupt. The Ukrainians wanted him out. It had nothing to do with Hunter Biden specifically. And those phone calls, the president says he never discussed business, did not know what Hunter was doing. And it was just like meet and greet, hello, how are you? Even Devin Archer called it an illusion of access. Do you buy that?
No, come on. Why would the president, if it was one time, but a dozen times, he's on, talking to these folks, who knows what specifics he may or may not have gone into. And quite frankly, if his son is negotiating a good financial deal with himself, with a corrupt company, it says a lot that you just have your father, the big guy, quote, sitting right next to you. I mean, people aren't stupid. Americans aren't stupid. There's something very wrong here. But we do have to cross the T's and dot the I's. This is serious stuff, and they know it's serious, and they're worried. By the way, if they've done nothing wrong, go along with the impeachment inquiry. It's not even an impeachment. Just turn over all the information that you have. Don't try to block it. Don't try to hide it, because if you're honest and you're telling the truth, nothing will come up. They're scared.
Do you think even, there's something that's very simple, that it's appropriate for Hunter Biden to have been riding on Air Force Two to foreign countries with the then vice president? I mean, it's a taxpayer-funded bride. And then Hunter is going off apparently having business meetings with people.
Exactly. And, again, that's a big statement. So these people he was having meetings with thought, boy, we better pay attention to this guy. He's the vice president's son. He even is on Air Force Two with them. He's actually brokering power. And what the problem is with this, think how bad this is. What this means is that it even could be, and I think it is, affecting public policy and presidential policy in the way that we are dealing with some of these countries. Again, Vice President Biden was talking to the Communist Chinese with Hunter Biden, trying to broker a deal. So he's just sitting there, and Hunter even says, I have my father is here with me. So, if you want to believe, if, Vice President Biden wants to say, or now President Biden wants to say that his son was lying and that he wasn't there, then he should come out with it and say his son's a liar. We found out a lot of things. There's so many things that are wrong. When President Trump pointed out that there was a laptop, when he pointed out something was wrong, what was going on with Ukraine, when he said there was no Russian collusion, all of this was engineered by a group of people around the president.
And finally, Congressman, there's maybe a broader issue here. Those are presidential families potentially taking advantage of the public office. Remember Billy Carter? Billy Carter signed up as a Muammar Gaddafi, representative of Muammar Gaddafi. The Trumps, Ivanka had Chinese copyrights and patents. The Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics says that the president, while he was president, received $160 million from foreign entities. And of course, Jamie Raskin wants an investigation into how Jared Kushner got $2 billion from the Saudis. Should there be a change? Should there be some type of new laws to seal off the family members of the president of the United States from any potential conflicts? Or are those already in place?
Certainly, I'm sorry. It's certainly something worth looking into. However, those are different issues because that was all done openly and publicly, not behind closed doors, not with necessarily corrupt individuals. I mean, we knew, remember, President Trump had a business and was a very established businessman for many years. That's different. And so he did seclude himself from those businesses, but his family were involved in all those businesses. But that was open and we knew all about it. I'm going to tell you one other thing that you mentioned. When talking about Viktor Shokin, who was a prosecutor in Ukraine, President Obama said he was a good man doing a good job.
Congressman Jeff Van Drew raising lots of questions. They are being investigated with this impeachment inquiry ongoing. Congressman, good to see you as always. Thank you.
Let's hear the truth. Thank you.
Barthel?
Well, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton has a